Hey guys, what's going on? It's your boy, the Mad Kiger, and up here today, I'm just going to be doing a little bit of a overview of how things are set up at the moment. I apologize for any mess around the house. I still got it's a bit of a nightmare at the moment because it's got no washing machine, so there's a bunch of washing everywhere, having to do it by hand, and it's such a nightmare. You just tell it, it just tears your skin off doing it by hand. And because of the lockdown, can't exactly go out and go looking for a new washing machine, and not a lot of money. So if there's any mess, I apologize. I just want to focus on upstairs, showing off how everything's set up at the moment. And I'm going to give a little bit of a thing about each collection and what I feel like I'm going to be doing with these collections, perhaps in the next year or so. I start off in here. As you can see, I've got a bunch of pop figures in here. These are not all of them. There's a bunch down there as well. Um, got a bunch of cool ones. Just some DVDs lying about up here as well. Just all my DVDs are downstairs, but there are some up here because there's no room downstairs. Room is a nightmare at the moment. But some really cool pop figures here. Most of these are in box. I normally take them out of the box. They're the ones that are in box with my partners, but sometimes we just keep them in the box until we sort things out, get some shelves. One of my favourites is obviously Austin Powers. Got some Overwatch ones here, some Star Wars ones, some Gears of War, Marvel. And then here we've got all of my backwards compatible Xbox 360 games. Again, there's some stuff thrown on here. I don't know why it's on here. And I sorted all my Xbox 360 games out a couple weeks ago, maybe last month or something. I've got all my backwards compatible games here. I keep the backwards compatible games all together because if there ever is a time I do want to play an Xbox 360 game, it just means that I don't have to set up the Xbox One 360. I do need to get an Xbox 360 controller. And there's just no room at the moment to set up my Xbox 360, so there's a bunch of consoles that aren't set up. Not ideal at the moment, but it's just the way it is. But Xbox 360 games are dirt cheap, so get them while you can. At the moment, you can't really go out and go to game shops. But if you want to buy stuff online, buy stuff from CEX because they're still selling online, or Amazon, stuff like that. But as you can see, I've got most of the good ones, and of course these are double backed. Everything in my collections are double backed, so you'll see there's a bunch of games behind there as well. I've got most of the usual suspects here in the backwards compatible games. A lot of these games have been given away digital or on the Game Pass, so there's no really need for me to be using the physical version. I just have them for collection purposes. But there are some good ones in here, like the Game of the Year edition of Oblivion. I keep that because obviously it's easier. If I ever do want to play Oblivion, I've got all the DLC. Same with the Grand Theft Auto 4 Complete Edition with every single DLC on there. The Castlevania games are great, backwards compatible game. Most backwards compatible games are actually still the same price. They're still pretty cheap. The only ones that really went up in price were the Call of Duty and I think the GTA games. When Call of Duty Black Ops 2 was made backwards compatible, that game was about an £8 gaming CX, and it went up to like £28. It's ridiculous. Like went up like £20, and it's gone back down now. Of course, got some really good ones in here as well. Fallout, Fallout New Vegas. This is on the Game Pass, so anything I have on my Xbox One that's on the Game Pass or digital, I'll just play it like that instead of using the physical disc because it just saves coming back. Tom Clancy games back there, so that's why I've got all these together. So if I don't have the game digital, if it ain't on the Game Pass, I can still play these on my Xbox One. Going down, we've got all of the other Xbox 360 games here. These are all the non-backwards compatible games. Some of them I'm a little bit surprised that weren't backwards compatible, like the Fear series. I was really surprised these games weren't backwards compatible. Same with Condemned 2. The first one was, but the second one isn't. Other games like the Warriors series, I'm really pissed off these games aren't backwards compatible. I don't think Microsoft are going to be adding any more backwards compatible games to their list anytime soon. Maybe when the Xbox Series X comes out, they might pull it back up and add a few more. The same goes with the original Xbox. They're not adding any more, unfortunately. That's just the way it is, and it's kind of a joke, but it is what it is. You know, like there's a bunch of them that they missed out on, like the Lost Odyssey game. I thought this was backwards compatible, but it isn't apparently. It might be, like Tales games. There's not many JRPGs on the Xbox 360 compared to the PS3, but there are still some good ones. Some kind of games that I wish were backwards compatible, like the James Bond game, you know, G.I. Joe. That's kind of a fun one. I have got most of these in like genre. All my first person shooters going down. We've got all the miscellaneous, the wrestling games, the sports games and stuff like that. A bunch of DS games lying around, and on the bottom shelf we have more DS games and Wii games. As for Xbox 360, backwards compatible games I keep together, like I said. Anything that isn't backwards compatible, I'm keeping them in, and I might set up my Xbox 360 one day and try and get it set up, but you'll see why I can't really set it up at the moment very shortly. But yeah, Xbox 360 is a great console to collect for, because most of the games still look pretty good on a HD TV, to be honest. You get HDMI anyway in 1080p. And a lot of these games are dirt cheap, so if you are looking to collect something, Xbox 360 is same. DS, like I said, I don't really collect DS games, so most of these are my partners. I don't really have a DS anymore. Same with the Wii. I've got a modded Wii, but I haven't got it set up. I need to reset that up. Thing with the Wii, I don't really collect games for it anymore. Same with all the PC games. They're in these bags because I was going to try and get rid of these. I might try and get rid of these. Might sell them on eBay or something one day, or Facebook or something. I don't know. If anyone's interested, there's a bunch of them in there. Check out my PC collection because you'll see which ones are in there. Get rid of them eventually. And now we're going to my main setup. Again, the room's a bit of a mess, unfortunately, because, like I said, I need to get my fucking washing machine repaired, and they're not coming out to repair it at the moment because of the lockdown. It's really a nightmare. Really is a nightmare. I am a bit of a messy person, unfortunately. Again, my PS3, PS4. I haven't played my PS4 in a while. Well, I played it a couple of weeks ago. I need to replay it. I'm going to watch Idiocracy tonight. Again, my 4K 50-inch Hisense plasma TV. Love this thing. This is just great for console. And it looks really good. It's just really good TV. It's got everything on there. You know, I watch my Amazon Prime, Netflix, Virgin, everything like that. Just a normal slim PS4. Got a 2TB external hard drive here. It needs a dust, so I can do that very shortly. I do play my PS4 every so often, but because I'm playing Gears of War with my friend at the moment, we're going through that. We'll be doing 4 tonight. I've sort of been more on the Xbox as of late, but I will go back to my PS4. Again, my Xbox 360, you already know, is my Gears of War Xbox 360. This was the 2TB model. I did have an external hard drive, but it don't work anymore. It just keeps reconnecting, disconnecting. I don't really want to plug it back in and corrupt it even more, so I keep it just in case. You know, I might try and format it again on my computer or something one day. Who knows? Again, same thing with my Virgin box and my PS2. My PS2 has a Palm cable, which is a HDMI. This TV can have up to 3 HDMIs in, so I have my Xbox, PS4 and my Virgin plugged in. And when I do want to play PS4, I just take out the Virgin and put the PS2 in there. But yeah, of course, I've got to have everything connected via HDMI because it's so much easier. I've just got a charging cable here for my PS4 controller. This controller does work, but for some reason when I'm playing it, this thumbstick doesn't move, but the camera always starts to move in games by its own. So I think there's something wrong with the controller, but of course I've got Crash Bandicoot holding it there. I do have this is the PS4 controller I do use. I can't remember what the make is. This is the controller I do use. So it's the one like an Xbox One. I prefer the asymmetrical thing to the normal controller. So this is what I use. It's a Bluetooth one. which I need to plug back in. This room is a mess. I need to tidy it up. And there's my Xbox One controller. It's a wired controller, because I prefer using wired controller, so I don't have to buy batteries or anything. Yeah, and then I've got all my these are all the PS4 games that I'm going to be playing next. So when I play a game, I keep it on here, and then I move it back and put it back onto the shelf. There's 10 games there, so these are the next 10 games that I will be playing through again on my PS4 when I do go back to PS4. We already know about my PlayStation 2 collection, how huge it is. Got everything up there, sports games. These are mostly sports games and miscellaneous games up there, and puzzle games. So games that I don't play as much. And again, you got all my action games here, self games, Lego games, hack and slash games, theme park games there. Racing games are all together. I've got so many racing games. Actually, to be honest, I can't remember where I put all my racing games. Oh no, the racing games are all together. I've got more racing games than anything else. It's unbelievable. I thought I would have more sports games than racing games, but you believe it, I actually have more racing games than anything else. PS2 is a collection that I still collect for. Normally I would get games from CEX, but because I'm not really going out anymore at the moment, and the way things are going, it won't be for a while, unfortunately. But I will eventually, when I do go back shopping and stuff like that into town and things, I will have a look around, and I normally pick a few PS2 games up here and there. I don't buy PS2 games for the sake of it now. I tend to just get games that I don't have. Well, of course, I don't really want doubles. I'm not really a reseller or anything. So I only really buy a PS2 game now if I know it's a game that I'm either gonna play or if I see it pretty cheap. But the PS2 is a collection that is a must-have for me. This is 7 years worth of collecting, and I've got about 1,000 games. It's unbelievable. And to be honest, most of these games actually look and play really well on this TV. The pound cable is not the best option, but it's a good option if you are stuffed for money. It saves on modding your PS2 and things like that. I don't really know how well it works with a PlayStation 1, because when I put a PlayStation 1 game in my PlayStation, sometimes it loads, sometimes it don't. So my PlayStation 2 might be a bit funny. I don't know. That's my third PlayStation 2. So, wow, I've had about 6 in my lifetime. But yeah, gotta love the PlayStation 2. Up there, got just a bunch of like figures and things. Mysterion there. Roadhog. My only 2 big box collections I have now are the Dead Island Definitive Slaughter Pack, which I don't think it's actually had the game in it anymore. It was the Xbox One version. I might have the game in there. I don't know if I do or not. And of course, I have the Odin Spear Lefrasia edition, whatever you call it. Collector's edition that doesn't have the game in it. I got rid of the game. I never actually played it, unfortunately. I don't know why I did that, but it has everything in there: art book, t-shirt, stuff like that. Yeah, the t-shirt's still sealed. Got a bunch of more pop figures on my windowsill here, some Star Wars ones. And then this is my other thing. I've got again, like I said, this isn't ideal. These consoles aren't set up, but I have got a Dreamcast, Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64, and Mega Drive there, and a bunch of like cheap knockoff console things there. Pickle Rick, Winston, a Batman figure there. Got a PlayStation 1. This don't actually work. I don't know if it was the controller, the AV port or the plug port. It doesn't work, so I don't know what's going on there. But even though it don't work, it still makes for a pretty good little diorama there. My favourite figure there is the Archer one. That was a Loot Crate exclusive, but I managed to buy that in HMV. Some Star Wars ships here. Of course, I have got an Enterprise back there, but I don't know where the stand's gone for it. A Darth Vader figure there, Black Series 1, I think it is. My modded Xbox. This is my mod father. The wires are all in that cupboard. I ain't even gonna go in there because it's a nightmare. I will have a proper tidy up one day when we get this washing sorted out. It'll make things so much easier. I need to set this bad boy back up. You've already seen this thing. This thing is a beast. There's 100,000 games plus on there. I just need to get all the controllers out and plug it back in. But as you can see, there's no room at the moment. The only thing I was thinking of doing is putting like the Xbox 360 down there and plugging it in there. One day, if I just wanted to do a one-off thing, that's how I could do it. But like I said, it's not ideal. And then we got on my PS4 game, PS2 games. That's a picture of my nan and granddad. Rest in peace. Yeah, I lost my nan last year. It was a very hard year last year for me. Yeah, I got all my PS1 games. I don't actually collect a lot of PS1 games that much. I tend to pick them up if I see them. Most of these I've found in, like, as you can see, like Cash Generator or charity shops or sometimes CEX, or they've been, my partner's brought me one and stuff like that. A couple of Lego things there. These medals were my granddad's medals from the war. Or when he was in the army. But yeah, I've got some pretty good PlayStation 1 games in here. There are some bad ones, but I've got the great ones like Spider-Man, of course, it's a classic. Total Driving's one of my all-time favourite racing games. RCD Go, that is a really good game. Scars is another great one. I don't know how many of these games work. Haven't tested them all. Some of them work, some of them don't. I don't know if it's my PS2 or the game itself. I don't know. I haven't really sat down and tried them all out. Got another great ones there, like the classic Gran Turismo. I think that's the first one. Cool Borders, another one. Demolition Derby, Destruction Derby was. Demolition Racer was actually another really great game. The Rugrats game was a massive great game of my time. Die Hard trilogy. I had never played that, but I've heard good things about it. Small Soldiers, one of my all-time favourite movies. But yeah, the PlayStation 1 collection, not bad. It's getting there, but again, this is a console that I don't really collect too much for. I just buy them here, when and there. A few Dreamcast things here. I've only got 5 Dreamcast games because I ain't got my Dreamcast set up. Just a few memory cards here. This is a RetroPie, which I haven't set up in a while. Then we got PS3 games. As you can see, these are just exclusives. I do not collect PS3 games for the life of me anymore. A lot of PS3 games are on PlayStation now, so there's no point me buying PlayStation 3 games. I do have a PS3 somewhere. I think it's in the cupboard. There's no point me collecting a PS3 at the moment because I never really had one. Oh, I did have one, but I never really played it. And a lot of the PS3 games have been like remastered or they're on PlayStation now. My Switch is still in here. I haven't played my Switch in a while. Some PSP games. I don't actually have a PSP. My partner has one. But I actually had a PSP growing up. I enjoyed it. But there are some good games in there. The Juiced game was actually a pretty good one. Tails game there. I will have to get back into the PSP because it was a great system. Again, my very humble Switch collection. I am getting... it's my birthday on Friday, so I'm going to be getting some money, hopefully. I'd say hopefully, but you know what I mean. So I might order some Switch games. I don't know. I might get a couple more Switch games, start getting back into the Switch. I've got 2 like big ones there, World's End Syndrome, Dust Driver. Great system, actually. I really do like the Switch, but I do need to get back into playing it. Yeah. A few more things thrown in. This Yoshi, I actually won on an app on my phone, on the Claw game app called Clawy. I actually tried it and I couldn't believe that it actually worked. It was legit, so I was really surprised to see it work. So yeah. And then of course we have my I've got a PS Vita here. I need to get a case for it. I really do need to get a case for it. I've only got a few PS Vita games. It is a great system. I actually really like the PS Vita. It is a really great system. It's just unfortunate that the games here are quite expensive, and the ones that I always see are the same ones. So if you want to collect for the PS Vita, go to Japan. I've heard Japan is huge with the PS Vita, or go on like eBay or like Play Asia and stuff like that. A very few small section of boxed Sega Genesis games or Sega Mega Drive Of course, Smash TV is my favorite here. Love this game. Played it to death on the PS2. Sonic the Hedgehog, of course. All my PS4, rest of my PS4 games, my favorite collection to have. I love collecting the PS4. It's just so fun to collect for. There's so many great games. And of course, I already did a PS4 video not too long ago, so check that out if you want to see what's in there. I only have one box Nintendo 64 game, 1080 Avalanche, or 1080 snowboarding. I'm not really a big Nintendo collector, so I apologize for that. Have some Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64. I've got two loose games there. I've got a loose copy of Sonic and a loose copy of Aladdin. Of course, I have got the Aladdin on Switch as well. Some Nintendo 64 games. I can't really remember what ones I've got here. WWF Warzone there. F1 pole position, Mission Impossible I see there, Fighter's Destiny, Forsaken, Scars, Bomberman, Hero, Diddy Kong Racing. That's probably my most expensive one I've got. WCW, Perfect Dark, Star Wars, and Turok. So actually I've got those games are pretty good, actually. Some of them are pretty good. They're not a bad game. I've got a Game Genie there for Sega Mega Drive. Super Nintendo, I've got Killer Instinct, which was actually a really, really good-looking game for its time. Super Nintendo, Super Mario World, Pilot Wings, Super Star Wars, Striker, Addams Family, FIFA, the original, Equinox, Super Mario All-Stars, and Super Return of the Jedi. And I've got a Super Game Boy as well. And then I've got a bunch of books down here. These are just like my big box books, or whatever you want to call them. So yeah, some of these are mine, some of them my partner, encyclopedias and stuff. But yeah, when it comes to retro games, I don't really have the thing set up. If I do want to play retro games, it's easier for me to just set up this bad boy and play them all on there. But I have them for collection purposes. I've got some good ones in there. I am missing a lot of the great ones, but again, because I'm low on space, there's no point me getting games for a console that I don't have set up, or you know, stuff like that. So I mainly focused on PS2, PS4 when it comes to buying games, and a lot of the games I play are on digital. I've been playing a lot more Xbox One lately. Gears of War series with my friend. We did Halo a couple last month, so we've been doing Gears of War this month. But yeah, there are some plans in place. Hopefully, once everything's done, once I get it tidied up, maybe I'll start doing a proper sort through these and try and maybe get rid of a few things and replace them with some more useful stuff, and who knows. But I just thought I'd do a little bit of an overview video for you guys. I apologize for the state of some things. It's just the way it is at the moment, unfortunately. I do need to do a big tidy up, and I'll probably get round to doing that soon. But yeah, I love my collection. It's not the biggest collection in the world, but it's a pretty good collection. I've got about nearly 2,000 plus physical games, and dare I say another 500, 600 plus digital games, so about 3,000 games, give or take. So definitely a good section. Of course, I've got about 8 plus different systems that I collect for. So again, it's just the way it is, unfortunately. But yeah, I love collecting for my systems. It's what keeps me going sometimes. And I do need to go through and start playing some of these older games and playing through some of these series and stuff. But we'll get through it. Anyway, guys, I just thought I'd do this today. If you enjoyed today's video, feel free to, of course, leave a like and, of course, comment below. And of course, comment below. Let me know what you've been up to lately. Maybe tell me what your plans are for when things have gone back to normal. What are you looking forward to doing and going out? Anything you want to hunt down straight away? You know I'll be going back to CEX when everything's said and done. But it's actually got online. I forgot they had online. So there's a bunch of stuff I've added to my CEX wish list online, so maybe I'll do some online shopping for CEX. And as always, guys, feel free to subscribe if you haven't already, and join the family. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at the Mad Koiga. And of course, guys, I will be on Mixer tonight at the Mad Kaigo, also playing Gears of War 4. I don't really remember too much about Gears of War 4. I think I only played it once, maybe twice. So I'm looking forward to that. So that will be the next video. When I beat Gears 4, I'll be doing a review for Gears 4 and then finally Gears 5. I might have already done an impressions video for Gears 5, but this will be a full review. And as always, guys, have a nice day and I'll see you in the next video. Before I go, I just want to mention that I tried the new character in Overwatch last night and she is too overpowered. So Blizzard fix her because she's pretty strong. So anyway, guys, I will see you in the next video. Take care and bye. So